It's Friday, so that means it's fly tying time. This week, it's crunch time for the washing line. Fly I'm going to tie now is taken from my washing line selection on the website. And the reason I put it all together was I was constantly being asked, how do I fish a washing line? What flies do I put on? So I decided to put 3 boobies and then 5 other flies that you would fish together. And then it takes the guesswork out. You choose one of the boobies and one of them will work on one day, another one will work another day. And then you just put 2 or 3 flies up the cast. That way the booby holds the flies up. That's why it's called a washing line. You just hang your flies out to dry. So this is the silver cruncher, or as it's known in some places called a magnet. Now, cracking little fly, and originally was just tied with no cheeks, no coloured cheeks at all. You can get gold now, you can get silver, you can get all different colour cheeks. And if you're going to tie yourself, now a lot of people will use the pheasant tail as the tail, but if you noticed, what I've put in at the tail is hackle fibres. It's far more robust, but I'm going to use then the pheasant tail as the body. So just tie that in. And when you're tying, be careful now because we need a big thorax and we've got to put the hackle on as well. So leave plenty of room. So we're going to do the body with a pheasant tail, tying it in reverse so we get a better profile. And the profile you're looking is building up towards the thorax. And you can get olive crunchers, black crunchers. They're just using different coloured pheasant tails as the body. And who knows, we might even get a pink one. Somebody will dye a pheasant tail pink and then somebody will make a cruncher magnet out of it. Right, so that's tied out of the way. We'll just snip them off. Then we'll bring the rib up. So with the washing line, how do you fish it? Well, the reason it's called the washing line is that you hang your flies out to dry. Just like as if you're hanging your clothes out on the washing line. It means you're suspending the flies. And where are you suspending the flies? Well, you're suspending the flies at whatever level your line dictates. Now, a lot of people think the washing line, oh, well, I'll put it on an intermediate line. And that's the only way to fish it. Well, actually, you can fish it on a fast sinking line. It'll just keep your flies off the bottom. You can fish it on a medium sink line. You can fish it even on a floater. A lot of people forget about that because when the fish are sipping towards the surface, what can happen is that they're not taken. A lot of people get misconception, oh, they're on dry flies, and they put dries on and they don't catch a thing. Fish are just turning underneath, they're not turning on the surface. So what you have to do is you put your nymphs on the point you put the booby, and then use a floating line. So what will happen is that your flies will actually just stay or hold about 6 to 8 inches under the surface. So if there's any fish supping just subsurface, then the washing line with a floating line is a deadly way to fish. Right, now I'm putting the silver. The one in my selection is a silver holographic. Today I'm just putting silver in. And as I said, you can get them in gold. You could even put red holographic. You can mix them about, but you want the cheeks on the side. That's the important thing. There we go. Tied it all up. Right. Shouldn't be on there. Now then, pheasant tail. Sorry, peacock herl. Build that thorax up. There. Right, bearing in mind, don't go too close to the head. Why? Because we've still got a hackle to put in. So that's tied in there. So there we go. Then pull the cheek over, keep the tension in. There we go, that's one side. Then pull that in that side. Lock them in place, then snip them off. And then the hackle, well, what you use, well, on the lighter coloured ones, on the brown ones, then you would use a green welt. And what is a green welt? Well, actually, what it is, if you look at it, black in the middle and then light ginger at side. Just some people will tie them with a ginger hackle, but I prefer them with this. This is the original way of tying it. Now we'll just get tidy those cheeks out of the way. Now the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to actually do it in reverse. So I'm going to put the hackle pliers in there to start with, and then I'm going to tease the fibres up. If you notice then, what it's done is given you that lock in place. That's where the silk's going to tie in. Then tie that in, just goes in neatly there. You can cut that off. Sharp pointed scissors, good. Then use your hackle pliers. And don't think of a big hackle. But what you want to do, you want to tease the fibres backwards before turning round there. So they're all laying back there. What you're looking with this, now that's it. I don't want any more than that. So I'm going to come in front, through and in front of there, of the hackle, keeping the tension in the silk, into there, and then don't take your scissors and snip underneath, because what you'll do, you'll snip or cut some of the hackle. Hold the scissors just slightly open, push it against the stalk. That'll cut it out. Now then, fold them back and just get a cone effect on the front. A great friend of mine who's unfortunately passed away now, he was our club captain. He used to be a master at tying these, but his heads were really in a cone, and he used to get that really flat on there. I prefer it to be up a little bit. And when they get wet, the reason you're using the green welt hackle, it is a soft hackle. I'll just finish this off and I'll just show you what happens. When you're pulling this with the water, when that green welt hackle gets wet, it'll actually cloak the fly, but because of the fibres of the peacock herl behind, it pushes it out. So what happens is when you're pulling it through, it's like that, and then when you pause, it just opens out a bit. So you get the fly just pulsing quite nicely, as if the insect was swimming through the water. So there you go, the silver-cheeked cruncher, an absolute killer. Go and check it out on my website. It's in selection 2.